So, hello and welcome back to SJ Cartier Limited Convos. And today, after reading a little report yesterday on the Voice newspaper, a Facebook post, I actually looked at the BBC News report, and I'd like to bring two things to my subscribers and people that aren't aware of these things, what's going on, because I think it should be highlighted and these things should be actually applauded. And I'm not someone to say people going to jail or having to stay in jail, it should be applauded. But in certain circumstances, it actually is. So the first thing I saw was the Voice newspaper and the post on Facebook, this post, read, breaking, according to reports just in from the BBC, David Norris, one of the men convicted of the racist murder of Stephen Lawrence, may he rest in peace, in 1993, has been denied parole. Woohoo! At the parole hearing, Norris admitted he was part of the attack but refused to name the other killers. Stephen's mother, Baroness Doreen Lawrence, said at the hearing that Norris remained a danger to the public and must remain in prison. So I went and read the BBC report. You can go and read and Google this yourself. There's young Stephen Lawrence. Face we all should remember. And the report reads, Stephen Lawrence's mother has said police must urgently investigate his murderer's admission to being part of the group who took part in the fatal racist attack. A public parole hearing for David Norris, who is bidding to be released from his life sentence for Stephen's murder. He's trying to get released now. Heard that he admitted his involvement on several occasions since being jailed, the first in 2018. He died in 1993. 25 years it has took this man to admit what he has done. 25 years. And he hasn't even been in jail now with full admittance for 25 years. So in my point of view, you shouldn't even be thinking about parole. You've just admitted it. You haven't even served your life sentence. Because for the first however many years, you was in jail talking about you never done anything. No. Repentance don't start. I say this saying a lot. An alcoholic cannot not become an alcoholic till he admits he is an alcoholic. And that is the same with a racist. That is the same with anybody. If you're racist, admit it to yourself. And maybe then you can work around understanding why you are racist and finding out, those presumptions I had of why I'm racist, I actually can see the opposite side of that as well, which isn't like why I'm racist and why I judge people or why I judge homosexuals or judge males or females, because that's another thing that people judge by. A public parole hearing, yeah. Baroness Doreen Lawrence said on Wednesday it was deeply shocking that police had known for years that he now accepts being part of the attack in southeast London in 1993. Yeah, it was 1993. So 25 years it really took him to admit it. The Met said officers remain committed to achieving their arrest, prosecution and conviction to all of those responsible for Stephen's murder. Speaking outside the Royal Courts of Justice on Wednesday, Baroness Lawrence told reporters the Met Police stopped investigating Stephen's murder 5 years ago and have done nothing since, despite everything that has been revealed in that time. And this is the scary bit of this report. So even though we're congratulating and celebrating the fact that this man has been denied parole, we also understand that 2 men have been arrested for this, and there is multiple more racist men that have killed a young boy still out there, and they could be walking past us every day. They could be in a school teaching our kids. They could be police officers, they could be business owners, they could be your local shopman, they could be your taxi man, they could be anybody. Anybody you walk past today. Because they don't have to live in London, they could have moved away from London. So when you start overstanding this, you start to think, isn't it quite scary if you're thinking of it? It's quite scary to think that there's few people that were seen on camera. They've actually got two accomplices. It was such a serious crime that wasn't just murder in a normal degree. It had a reasoning behind it that was unprovoked. It's quite scary. The police must now urgently investigate. I agree, Baroness Lawrence. I agree. Stephen, 18, was stabbed by a gang while waiting at a bus stop in Eltham. Norris, 49, and one other man, Gary Dobson, are the only people to have been found guilty of the murder after an Old Bailey trial in 2012, with four other suspects never convicted. Four of them. So they got a third. Norris's admission marked the first time any of Stephen's killers publicly said they had taken part in the attack. The first time, any one of them. But he has refused to name any of the others involved, saying that doing so would pose a risk to him and his family. How if they're in jail with you? Pose a risk to you, but you was able to kill a young boy, so why not you stand up for yourself with the same people? Be a man. The person can name the other killers and says he would love to do so, Baroness Lawrence said. The police must do everything in their power to obtain that evidence and bring all of Stephen's murderers to justice. This man owes me the truth and the Met owe me justice. The police have no excuse not to act. It's very true. And you can go and read that post. And there was something that kind of annoyed me as well. Because, this is what annoyed me. At the hearing on Wednesday, a prison psychologist said Norris was not safe to be released from prison. And should instead be moved to a lower security, closed prison where his behaviour could be tested. Yeah? The psychologist said his recommendation was that Norris did not reach the threshold for release from prison or move to an open prison. But then, as you read on, this is all what is quite annoying. Not only have they made the qualified reason of why you can't be released or go to an open prison, but for some reason, even with their evidence that they are admitting to here, they say he should be lowered degree. No, because here, the psychologist said on Wednesday, I find it unlikely that across prison staff are making things up. Wait there, have I missed it? Ian was told on Tuesday that Norris used racially abusive language in prison, according to intelligence reports from different facilities. It heard that Norris had been involved in clashes with Muslim prisoners, including claims that he had thrown excrement and used derogatory terms, which he denied. He was denying Stephen's murder for 25 years. The psychologist said on Wednesday, I find it unlikely that across prison staff are making things up. He said Norris had a lack of racial awareness and was more likely to use racist language during times of mental ill health or frustration. And this is where I got annoyed, because here I am thinking, wait a minute, this man's just racist. There's no mental health. There's no psychological problem here. The man is racist. He has a judgmental bone to him. And that racist bone to him has led him to kill a young boy. What else do you need to know? He is still continuing with racial slurs and continuing racial attacks while he is in the highest security prison he is already in. So why would you, yes, not release him out? We agree. Why would you not send him to an open jail? We agree. Why would you now want to decide to lower his bloody, pull him in a cat C or something? Cat B? I don't know. What you putting him in? Cat B? Cat C? What are you putting him in? Keep him cat A until he can realise that his racist thoughts are not appreciated. That's what I like to hear. And I'm going to calm down now because, as you see, certain things do get me agitated and I have to just change the subject. So let's go to the next topic that was quite applaudable as well. I'd say yesterday. It made me smile, even though, as I say, as you read on, you start getting more agitated. But something else that I saw on social networks, which made me smile because I was actually here, and it's quite crazy to think I was standing outside the train station in the ram raid of people, check through my shorts, and you'll see it was crazy there. Like, there were so many fans there. It was such a celebration. And this one person come and ruined it. Ruined the whole day. He ruined it. And for me, as someone that walked that way, it's like I could have died that day because of this idiot. Because he's driving like a maniac. I could have just been there, not realised what's going on, and he's just sped up. I like to think I'd be more aware, but then we can't say that. Anything can happen to anyone at any time. And it's quite scary. I feel it's sad. It's sad. But I saw this post from Liverpool Goals on Instagram. And it read, breaking, Paul Doyle has been sentenced for 21 and a half years after driving into crowds at the Liverpool Premier League victory parade. Doyle last month pleaded guilty to 31 offences relating to 29 victims aged between 6 months and 77 years old. 6 months and 77 years old. So yeah, I went and read a little report on him to find out what's going on. And it's quite sad to hear this. And there's a couple points of views. I'm going to play a little video here, a little of what the full account was that this passenger of Paul Doyle says due to the incident. You can find this yourself via Google, and if you go to the skynews.com website, you will see this video yourself, and it's quite sad to hear.
He was repeating the same thing over and over. Why won't they move out my way? Was he asking me? Was that a statement? I don't know. I remember running up maybe about 5 paces and bracing myself to punch the window through because, once again, assuming it was locked.
Remember, he's jumped into Paul Doyle's car.
Tried the door. Mine opened, so I got in the back seat. I'll tell you, I remember being glad I was in. I remember glad I got in there. I remember thinking, right, we're in. We, as in, are in. But as soon as that thought entered my head, he accelerated off and the door slammed shut. So we've gone from total chaos, panic, screaming, to relative silence as he's accelerated off, and then you can just hear the people being hit and run over.
Sad.
Like 10-pin bowling, and yeah, pretty horrendous. I could see everything from where I was. But do recall seeing they had an automatic, and therefore P for park was right at the very end, so it wasn't even in the middle or anything. So I thought, right, just jam that forward as far as you can. That should stop him from memory. And it did. I didn't feel the job was done. Although I had my hand on park, according to me, he was accelerating still. He was still trying to get going. Obviously, the crowd come in again. Once he stopped the final time, the windows start coming through. I remember people trying to drag him out, but his seatbelt was on. I managed to get my hand up and press in a weird position. Obviously, I'm in the back seat between the middle. I pressed his
Okay,
seatbelt
this way you have to
button,
mind your
as soon as
friends
I
as
pressed
well.
it, he was gone because the crowd had him out. Obviously aware that it was horrendous, and I could see people's faces. They could see the looks of just like they were trying to plead but wasting their time. That's all that they could do. There was nowhere to go. There was nowhere to get out the way for him. I don't think I have processed it, to be honest with you, but I'm not the same since that day.
You just have to walk with the
Big things
flow.
don't bother me. It's little things. Little things are starting to agitate me in my day. I'm different in work. I'm just not myself. I'm very forgetful, focusing on one thing. Starting a job, say this could be anywhere, at home, in work. I'll get distracted by another one, and then think, I'm meant to actually be doing this for that.
It's real, because he was in the car. He has to live through it for real. He has to live that day as well. And it's sad to see, it's like sad to hear, that's someone that was in the car with this man. And I'm going to say a couple of things, and some people, as I say, SJ Cartier Limited Convos is not here to show face, not to please anybody. I'm just here giving my point of views, and they could relate to anything that catch my eye and make me feel a way. And I'm not just going to follow what everybody else is feeling just for the sake of it. So I have an open mind, and my mindset, I say, I'm just going to think out the box. I'm going to talk how I think out the box. So after hearing him personally, for me, I'm thinking, for one, why were you waiting there for him to come and pick you up? Why did you not just allow him to go pick you up somewhere where he was supposed to drive, because he wasn't supposed to drive that road? Was it a decision for him to meet you there, or did he just happen to come there? Because this is something that caused it. Because why was he driving up that road? He wasn't supposed to be driving up that road or down that road at all. The road was blocked off, and there was only a couple one-way routes for people to drive up and down, and that's by houses, and that was at the side of where it's kind of mad. You'd have to be there, and I'm gonna say, I've been to many carnivals, and I'm saying that parade was so ram. Carnival is just, you feel like a carnival, you're in open space. I swear to God, it was so packed. It was crazy. It was crazy. It was crazy still, I can't lie. And I'm thinking, it's crazy. Yeah, you're in the car. This man is trying to speed away. And as you read on, they're saying, this man had, issues when he was young. We can't judge the man for what he done when he was young and he's changed his life. We ain't judging him for that. We're judging him for this decision alone. This decision alone of driving and deciding to drive down there and put his foot down. And from what I'm reading, it says he was getting angry and agitated because people were in his way, but he shouldn't have been there in the first place. What were you doing there? Why did you decide to pick your friends up there? Why didn't you just meet them somewhere else? Why didn't you get out and meet them and walk them to the car? Why did you feel you have to drive there, get agitated, and feel like you have to barge people out the way? We all know how much weight a car holds. I was there. The amount of adults with their children, the amount of kids that were there as friends, amount of elderly people, let alone all of us not wealthy, healthy people. There was young children, there was old people. We heard it there that the people ranged from what age? Ranged from 6 months old to 77 years old. Come on, bro. You can see the vulnerable people right in front of you. Just have patience. Just wait. And then I say his friend who you picked up. I don't know if you're friends or you just jumped in the car. Because why are you jumping in the car anyway? Are you jumping in the car to stop him? What are you doing? Is that, I'm a bit confused. I don't know. Did he jump in the car just to stop him and that's how he stopped him? Because I applaud you for that. I applaud you for that. Well done. Well done. Congratulations. You did stop him from causing more mayhem. But I'm thinking, if you're his friend and then he's trying to do that, why are you not telling him to stop? And why is he not able to stop and giving him the insight? Yeah, you done that, but he shouldn't have drove anyway. Shouldn't have been driving anyway. And then you even to the worst. I'm glad you opened his seatbelt and threw him out to the wolves. Can't lie, it's sad to say. I'm glad I wasn't there, but I wish I was there. I swear. But yeah, the moral of the story is this man has got 21 and a half years. Woohoo! Woohoo! Now that's been put to bed and he's fully admitted his wrongdoings. No one should be, first of all, let's just say this, no one should be against his family or anyone, because his family have nothing to do with his decisions. But I know I've got to be fair, but I'm just here as I'm keeping it real. Let's hope he doesn't have a fun life in jail. Let's keep it real. Yeah? And that's the same with the other dude. Yeah? Let's hope him and his other friend don't have a good time in jail. If he goes to a less open, that's mean it's more open for everyone else, in my point of view. But I'm a good boy now as well. I'm not really thinking like that. If you know what I mean. But yeah, these are two reports that kind of made me smile yesterday, and I thought I'd come and share them and give my little views on them, because I feel like there's a couple things that we need to be aware of what goes on in our community, and we need to look at it. Like Stephen Lawrence has been killed. They didn't get to find his murderer straight away. Of the 6 killers, only 2 of them have been found. One of them, after 25 years after Stephen's murder, is finally admitted that he did kill Stephen. And now he's thinking, because he's admitted it 6-7 years ago, that now he believes he's ready to come out of jail or go to open prison. Nah, mate. Nah, mate. Nah, mate. That's what we say to that. And the next one, man, just doing stupidness, out of his mind, losing his head, not enjoying one of the best moments of my life, I'd say. You get that? Like, not enjoying the moment. You get it? Not enjoying it. You get it? And actually being the stain on that night. The one stain on that night was him. The one stain. There was no other issues that night. That was the one issue. That. So yeah. Thank you for joining SJ Cartier Limited Convos. And although I'm seeming a bit, let's actually applaud the justice system for doing something correct for once. Yeah? Now let's get all those PDFs that are working in your court systems and in all these other places. Let's get them. Get all the rest of the racists. Lock them up. Yeah. So yeah, thank you for joining SJ Cartier Limited Convos, and I hope you all have a good day.